We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on our giant screen with a few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us. They're driving theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. You are tuned into the Drive-In Speaker Box, the best movie podcast you're ever going to download in your life. Your money back guarantee. Any dollar that you have spent paying for this show will be refunded if you don't like this show. So I'm your host, Bo, the boom operator. Not alongside me at the moment is Jake. He is on his way. He will be busting into the studio at any time, at any moment, and I have no idea when, but it will be soon because we do this show live, by the way. We record this live. We don't edit the show at all. It is straight off the dome. We broadcast this thing live every Monday night. It is Central Standard Time for those of you that don't know, but we simulcast this on Facebook and Twitch and YouTube all at the same time. So if you want to get in the chat with some of our Twitch listeners, we do a Twitch pre-show, which we have been sitting there yapping about AI and the inevitable destruction of our world and when Skynet's going to come online and all kinds of fun stuff. But you can get on that by subscribing. But anyway, now that we're here, let's talk about movies. That's what we do. The first part of the movie the show is always news. We talk about news, talk about things that are happening in the news. And this was kind of a weird week because, you know, there was Grammys and all of that kind of stuff. Shout outs to The Cure for finally winning a Grammy. I also think that award shows are kind of hokey and stupid. So you won't get a lot of reward show coverage by us on this show because rewards are just this sort of, in my opinion, a lot of gatekeeping, back-patting bullshit. And you know, we don't really need an award to tell us what's good. And I think that has been a problem with award shows for decades now. Is these awards were created as a way to show accolades to these people that created great content, but over the years it has turned into this sort of like contest of like, well, you're not good enough or this isn't good enough unless it's won an award. And I think, I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of awards. So yeah, anyway, yeah, we're in the chat here. I wanted to shout out to that resub. Thanks for all of those subs coming in over there on our Twitch. But in the news this week, I was watching a couple of new trailers, a couple of different things. There was an article that cracked me up. It says, why Marvel's Hawkeye Season 2 didn't happen, according to show's producer. It's probably because Season 1 sucked, and there you go. I don't know why this is news. But one of the interesting news things that did come out is the Super Bowl trailer for Scream 7 got dropped a little bit early, which does that make it a Super Bowl trailer if it airs before the Super Bowl and then we'll just subsequently air a bunch until the Super Bowl and then again at the Super Bowl? Does that make it a Super Bowl ad? Because Super Bowl ads have become their own thing, right? They're a way for companies to make this big platform because they know a lot of people are going to watch them, and they're supposed to be these better versions of ads, something like a premium ad. And we've all, you know, since the was that and all that crap, it's Super Bowl. I don't understand the fandom of Super Bowl ads. And people are like, oh, well, because it's a Super Bowl ad, therefore it's an ad we really need to see. But does it still make it a Super Bowl ad if it's being aired before, during, and after the Super Bowl? Like, how about we just call that an ad? Hey, Merle, thank you for that sub on Twitch. That to me just sounds like an advertisement. And it goes back into something that I hate about review culture and all these micro reviews and these micro benchmarks where it's like the #1 movie in America released on a Tuesday in February. You know, all of this kind of stuff I think is silly. And with the Super Bowl trailers, you're categorizing something that doesn't need to be categorized in that way because you know it's going to build hype. And speaking of building hype, we got a hype train going over there on Twitch. Thanks, guys. Go ahead and like, smash, subscribe, get all that stuff, and maybe we'll unlock some emotes. I don't know what a hype train does anymore. I feel like sometimes I'm such a streaming Luddite that all these bells and whistles and servers and watch-alongs and emote unlocks and hype trains, and I'm just an old man with a lot of knowledge that I want to share to the world, and all these newfangled bells and whistles that you kids keep telling me I need to learn about. It's scary and frightening, and I don't want to do it. But I thank you when y'all do it. But anyway, Scream 7 Super Bowl trailer is just showing us more of what we already know. So it's another Ghostface with some more deep cut actors coming out of the background and being in a new stream. Oh, Vince with the you got the reference, little Phil Hartman there. I'm just an unfrozen caveman podcaster. I don't understand these things that you have. One of Phil Hartman's greatest characters, by the way, unfrozen caveman lawyer. God. If I were ever in a court case, I would want unfrozen caveman lawyer to represent me. So good, so classic, love it. Also, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Stranger Things. Netflix is not going to let this thing go. They're not. They're not going to do it. So the Tales from 85 teaser trailer dropped this week. And to no one's surprise, the Netflix universe is being continued. But also to no one's surprise, because all these kids are pushing 40 now, it's animated. So I don't think I need any more Tales from 85. Like, I think I got it. I think I got most of it. I don't know if there's anything that they left me wondering about in the Stranger Things world, or maybe nothing that I was wondering about. I think better yet, nothing that I cared about. But this is Netflix's way of trying to just keep us engaged, trying to keep the Stranger Things train rolling through the station, trying to get eyes on the streaming platform subscriptions up so they can keep increasing prices. I don't know. I think viewership on this is going to go way down. It's kind of like when The Witcher did the animated thing. It was the Witcher one was arguably pretty cool because it was just like a Little Mermaid tale, and pretty good. It's pretty good, and I like animated stuff and everything, but what about you guys in the comments? Like, I'm Stranger Things out. Like most big properties that go on for too long that I originally really liked. I mean, I really did like Stranger Things season 1 and season 2. I thought those were really great television. But by season 5, it just felt like work to just keep it going. Like Merle, yeah, I'm glad it's done. Yeah, I'm also glad it's done. Vince says, I watched season 1 and that was more than enough for me. Season 2 was pretty good. Season 2 was good. I think they could have wrapped it up pretty quickly at season 2. And it's kind of like with the Game of Thrones things. There's like a new show called like A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and are people watching this? I know that there was Game of Thrones, like the dragon incest family edition, and now there's like a new one, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And are people watching this? Because I literally know. I know a lot of human beings, but I don't personally know a single human being that is just like, dude, did you see the latest episode of A Night of Seven Kingdoms? Oh my gosh. And they don't know. Movie Albert says season 3 and 4 are the best of Stranger Things. Really? I thought season 2 was the greatest, but yeah, the Russia arc was a little weird for me. But I understand why they did it, because it harkened back to that like 80s time where Russia was the bad guy.
Of course.
And welcome to the studio, Jake, for those of you that are listening on the podcast and are like, where did the second voice come from?
Hey, do all of your friends and yourself a favor. In winter weather, if you rely on your car, buy a jump box.
Yes.
Have a jump box.
Have a jump box in your car at all times. And also, for those of you that own jump boxes, go check the battery level.
Don't leave them outside in the car because you're not supposed to leave them in the cold.
Yes.
Take them with you when you go places.
Yeah, leave them in your house.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude,
And check
thanks, Night Ashley.
check them, make sure they're charged. Jump boxes, they are amazing. Take them with you when you're going on a trip or something.
Yes,
like,
100%.
You know, because you don't want to be like, hey, sir, can you jump a car? And honestly, cars these days, like with jumper cables, I've seen so
They're
many.
not safe. It's not safe. You could torch your computer, and then all of a sudden, you need to buy a car's value worth of repairs for your car.
Yeah, and like the jump boxes are now. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't work in a mechanic shop, but the jump boxes are a little safer to use on modern vehicles
100%.
instead of just
Yeah.
a direct, because it's a more controlled voltage.
Yeah,
and
and a lot of them now are smart too. So if you hook it up wrong or anything like
it'll
that,
tell you.
it'll be like, no, not allowed.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
they go beep, and
Yeah.
I have one that's like only when it's connected correctly, it'll go beep,
Yep,
and then
exactly.
activate. Yeah.
Definitely do that. You were talking about Night of Seven Kingdoms. Is it out? Is it a thing already?
Yeah, it's like 3 episodes in. Man.
Oh, jeez, that happened out of nowhere. I was seeing the ads for it. I'm like, oh, that's finally going to be a thing.
Yeah,
and
they've
now
already
it's
got
out.
3 out.
You're right. I have not heard one person say anything about
Speaking of TV shows, I wasn't watching The Watchmen. Sorry, Vince. But I did. I was bored the other day. I got home a little bit earlier than normal, like at 10 p.m. And I'm like, you know what? I've got time. I could watch a show or a movie at home. What a treat! And I turned on Netflix, and it was like in the top 10, and it was like Sandokan, the Pirate Prince, and I'm like, whoa! There's like an American Sandokan, because Sandokan is like an Italian. He's the Italian Sinbad, basically, right?
Okay.
And old stories and blah blah blah, and of course a handful of really bad Italian movies. But I was like, oh shit, that's kind of cool. And it's an Italian produced show, but it's all English speaking, and has a couple, like a British actor, the guy, the brother to Rachel Weisz in The Mummy.
Yes.
You know that guy. He's always like I'm a person of high stature, but I'm a coward as shit. Like that he always plays that actor or that character. And then the other guy who was in Gossip Girl, who was Chuck from Gossip Girl, with like the smoldery eyeballs.
I've seen most of one episode of that show. And nothing-
Sandokan
No.
or Gossip Girl?
Yeah.
Well, Sandokan's pretty cool because I was checking it out, and it's a little hokey because it is basically, it's Italian, so it's a little more hammy. But the cast is extremely diverse and pretty cool. And the main guy, Khan Yaman, who plays Sandokan, Sandokan, played by Jan Kaman, Khan Yaman Sandokan. He's pretty good, and he's a Malaysian pirate. But Ed Westwick is like the pirate hunter, and it's so far been a pretty interesting little show. It's, if you like pirate shit like I do, like all you got to do is buckle a little swash, and I'm sold, man. And so I've been checking this out. I'm only 3 episodes in, and it's been fun. Not the greatest, but it's been fun. So, but I didn't really watch much this week. Neither did you, right?
No, but I was extremely busy with things that kept me from being able to do stuff. I did check out some news though, so I'd have something to talk to the people about.
That's what I was going through right now.
I did not watch any of the trailers that came out, but there was a handful of.
I talked about the Scream 7 one already.
Oh yeah. Did you talk about the which one was I going to talk about first? The
Devil Wears Prada 2.
No,
I know you're getting excited about that.
I saw that it had a trailer, but
Yep.
I didn't know. I watched that first movie in the theater because the girl I was
'Cause
dating
girls,
at the time.
yeah.
I worked at the movie theater, and the girl I was dating at the time was like, "We have to watch that."
It's not a bad movie.
It's not the worst. I'll tell
Yeah.
you what, man. Hot take here for some people. Like, you put Stanley Tucci in a movie, all of a sudden, I'm just gonna be like, I don't really want to watch it. Like, I'll watch it. It'll.
You don't like
fine.
the Tooch?
He's just always Stanley Tucci. It's the same problem as the Lobo Jason Momoa. Like, no matter
Yeah.
what role he plays, he's going to be Stanley Tucci in it.
That is true.
His character in whatever movie. Oh, Devil Wears Prada is the same character that he plays in Burlesque, which is the same character that he plays in Hunger Games, which is the same character that he plays. That character is the Tooch.
He is always the Tooch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan Cummings the same way.
No, hold on
And
now.
I
now.
love Alan Cummings.
Alan Cummings is a little different because he is whatever that character is with a lot of Alan Cummings flair to it.
That's true. Okay,
Because
that's true. Because
he was in Burlesque also.
I know, that's what made me think of him. Yeah.
But he's not the same as he was as Loki in The Mask 2.
But he
Like,
gives it a lot
That's
of
the
Alan
go-to
Cummings.
role for Alan Cummings, and he was different as Nightcrawler.
But he was still Nightcrawler. But it was still very Alan Cummings.
See, he could do any of it. He could be like,
because I never thought that
Loki.
Nightcrawler was gay until Alan Cummings portrayed
because he's not.
But Alan Cummings Nightcrawler, pretty gay, and I'm okay with it.
Only because of the actor.
Because how Alan Cummings, he's so cool.
What's that reality TV show he does, like The Castle or
Oh,
whatever?
it's called like Traitors or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean, so I remember it was a long time ago when I there was this movie. Oh my God. No one has ever seen this movie, and I really, really, really like this movie. And every time I try to recommend it to people, they're like, "What the hell is this?" And Alan Cumming was in it. Oh God, Liv Tyler was in it. Plunkett and McLean. Have you ever?
Sounds artsy if the
No.
two of them were in it.
No, it is.
But it's called Plunkett and McLean.
No, it is. It is really. Let me see if I can find out. It's a '90s movie, and it's got like Robert Carlyle in it, Johnny Lee Miller, Liv Tyler. It was directed by Jake Scott, right? And it's like an old, like British 1800s highwayman. And so of course there's like corsets and gowns and all this stuff, and of course their friend Alan Cumming is super sassy and hilarious. So yeah, see, there's a picture of production still. But I remember seeing him in that movie a long time ago.
The wig and the frilly blouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, dude, the cast of Plunkett and McLean makes the movie. I mean, you've got so many cool people in this movie that went on to do cool stuff. And if you've never seen Plunkett McLean, it's like a weird. It's so 90s, but it's a period piece at the same time. It is so very 1800s, but also extremely 90s.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I love it. There's a genre of movie like the 90s. When a movie just drips of it, I just like Mallrats. Like there's just something about it.
Mallrats, though, that's different because that's like a contained.
Or Hackers.
See, now you're talking drips with 90s.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm into it, man. Terminator 2, it's just very 90s.
Oh, it's a schooner. You dumb bastard. It's a sailboat. A schooner is a sailboat. Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Mallrats rules. Terminator 2 doesn't drip 90s, though.
It's Harley ramping off of LA like storm drain to Welcome to the Jungle, and then there's video.
It was not Welcome to the Jungle.
No, what was the?
There was.
You will be my.
Yeah, You Could Be Mine.
Yeah, that one. But it was pretty 90s. And then Edward Furlong on a motorbike being like, I'm gonna hack this payphone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Okay, that part. Now that part where he just pulls out his pocket computer and flips it open, and it has that flat whatever chip, and he slides it in and can just make the money flow by going beep boop. He does like the Arkham Asylum Batman detective thing where all the codes there, you just have to get the thumbsticks right.
Yeah.
And it says Enigma. And you're like,
got it.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I would have never guessed that the Riddler's code was his name.
What?
Yeah.
No, dude. It's very freaking 90s. I love 90s aesthetic movies like that. Like Go was another one that's like freaking 90s and unapologetically 90s.
To return to what we were talking about, though,
movies.
The Devil Wears Prada 2 trailer wasn't that far removed from the 90s. Actually, it was early mid 2000s. And it, I don't know how they're going to do a 2 without having watched the trailer, because I've got no plans to watch the second one. Of course, there's going to be some point where someone's like, "We don't watch this." I'm like, okay, but like, there's no way that those 3 characters can have their same roles, right? Because it's been 20 years or whatever since they did whatever. Where she's like, "I don't want to be an assistant. I want to be like a somebody." And Stanley Tucci's like, "Don't say that to her." What's with him and like being like the right hand of some like super femme sassy lady? Like,
That's the Tooch, man.
yeah, that's just what he does. So there's no way they can still have those same roles like 20 years later, or they're like, "Wow, sure would be great to have a raise or a change of career or to retire." And like, but I
20
guess
years later,
the story calls for us to be right where we were when it left us 2 decades ago. You know, it's like movies don't need to have the same trajectory in life that we have of going nowhere. They need to have something that you're like, yeah, I would watch that. No one wants to watch someone just working their salary job until they're 65 and being like, "Well, I wish I could retire," but you know, like no one wants to see that. They need to have something change in it. We also got a trailer for Michael. We got another trailer for the Michael Jackson movie.
MJ.
So that's a thing that's out there. That's going to be a thing that we go and watch. There wasn't a trailer, but everyone said there was. But there was just that like scene, the screenshot of Cavalander.
I didn't catch that.
You didn't see the Henry Cavill as the Highlander?
No, I didn't.
Oh, my phone will not.
I mean,
allow
I can
me
look
to
it up.
zoom.
Henry Cavill Highlander.
Yeah.
Boink. Let me go to image search.
It's that one to the right.
To this
That one. Yeah, that's the official one.
Oh, he's got the trench coat.
Yeah. And then that one, the gray one in the middle right there. That's
This
the
one?
other. Yeah, those are the 2 official.
Okay.
The other ones are
I
CGI.
mean,
The other ones are AI.
hear me out. I like Henry Cavill,
Yes.
and I'm optimistic. No, hear me out. Here's the thing.
I'm hearing out.
If anybody else other than Henry Cavill was in this role, I'd be like,
screaming, no.
I'd be like, this is going to be garbage. But
Yeah.
knowing what we know about Henry Cavill and how he is kind of a huge jerk about sticking to source material, and he's like, this is not what Duncan would do. This is not what Connor would do. This is not what.
So on
you know.
IMDb, he is not Duncan or Connor. He is just labeled as McLeod. Is he going to be his own? Now, here's the thing, though. Dave Bautista is the Kurgan, and Strahan, what's his name, fighting around the world.
That asshole.
Help me, Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe is Ramirez. So there's the Kurgan, and there's a Ramirez, but Henry Cavill's Highlander is just McLeod. He's not Connor.
So
Connor McLeod of the Clan McLeod.
So, I mean, can we just go back to Russell Crowe as being Ramirez for just a minute? Because Ramirez is an Egyptian Spaniard, right? And in the first movie, he was an Egyptian Spaniard played by an old white British dude or Scottish dude. So did they just do the same fucking thing? And they're like, let's just cast this other white dude from the UK to play an Egyptian Spanish guy.
He's not from the UK. He's from Australia.
That's right. Well, just some other white guy.
Some dude. Yeah. Well, but it doesn't matter because that's the whole thing about being an immortal. Is that like he's from everywhere.
But he was Egyptian first.
Yeah. But being Egyptian doesn't mean that he was ethnically native Egyptian, because he could have been any
Australian
kind of
and somehow managed to make that journey.
Roman or Grecian person born in Egypt, making him an Egyptian person.
Okay. He got his Egyptian citizenship.
Yeah. So,
but I do think that Russell Crowe is a hilarious cast for Ramirez.
I'm fine with it. I've been thinking about it a lot. I'm Russell Crowe and Henry Cavill as McLeod and Ramirez is fine. I'm not opposed to it. I don't know about Bautista being the Kurgan. I really wish they would have just had Clancy Brown do it again, so that you have the voice that makes. Because really, the biggest thing that made Kurgan threatening was that he was Clancy Brown.
Well, yeah, because Clancy Brown,
because he has the voice of Clancy Brown.
he's a tall dude that has the
SpongeBob.
he has the scariest voice on the planet. He just has an authoritative, terrifying voice.
So Dina just brought up exactly why I'm worried about this. Now, with the casting we're talking about, I'm not worried about it. My main point of worry.
Dina said,
is,
for context, the trailer is a teaser and didn't explain anything.
So, well, she said the director did all the John Wick.
The John Wick movies, yeah.
So, what I'm worried about is Chad Stahelski being the director for this, because John Wick is a lot of action packed into like a little movie with
a very
just
little
enough,
story,
just enough exposition so that you're like, oh, what's going on here? And then when they tried to give more exposition, it ruined the movies. So the thing is,
but Highlander also wasn't a movie that had a lot of exposition in it.
No, but it was a lot of fantasy and it was a lot of storytelling, and the action was very sporadic and short in it. There wasn't extended action scenes. There wasn't high impact action scenes for long periods of time. There was little bits of action for you to be like, oh, well, that's cool, and then it would give you the fantasy that made the movie interesting. And that's what modern movies don't have, is that like 80s fantasy and high fantasy where you get these just broad strokes of like fantasy feel and landscapes and things going on that you're like, well, this is not of our world. This is super interesting, but instead it's going to be a lot of sword fights and a lot of high impact action and a lot of quick cuts and things like that a movie like this,
I want to see him hanging out and being somber in his antique shop.
Dude, I want to have Who Wants to Live Forever. Yeah, like if there's a soundtrack that is not, if they don't recycle the soundtrack, there's no point.
Can they?
Why would you not just have the same Queen Highlander soundtrack?
I mean, I don't know if they can. I don't know if Queen
would allow it. If this movie doesn't open up and kick your ass with Princes of the Universe immediately, then it's already a big flub.
I mean, I will say that the Princes of the Universe song kind of needs to be there. It needs to be there.
And the fact that they're going to have like the Watchers from the show in the movie. I think having the Kurgan and Watchers
together,
and everything all in one story. I don't know how it's going to work, because the Watchers really worked in the series when they were introduced, because it was like a long game thing.
Well, they needed more episodes.
And it made it where, you could have different bad guys in different episodes, but you kept some consistency.
It's like the Talamasca in the Anne Rice universe. It's like they came later in the books where it's like, we got to tie this together. So there's been just like the Watchers, there's a group of humans that know about this and have been keeping tabs.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I need to check out that trailer. I haven't. It's just a teaser, obviously, so I need to check it out.
Is there a real official trailer? Because I didn't see anything
it's just a teaser
about like a trailer. I saw that there was like the image of Cavill, and then there was a lot of fake trailers.
Oh, there's tons of fake. That's another thing that's driving me nuts with AI. Going back to the pre-show, that's not even in this podcast, but. All these people are like, check out the new trailer for the sequel starring these two actors, and it's all just AI bullshit.
Yeah, well, that was like, I was clicking on them. I was like, I'm sure I read that there was a trailer, and I'd click on one, and I was like, nope, AI back. I'd click on another one. I was like, maybe this is it, and then it would show a shot from the original Highlander, but with like a little bit of AI filter on it, and I was like, no, this isn't it, and I kept doing that. No trailer. It's all
all
CG.
just AI garbage crap. Well, going back in the comments there, Vince on Twitch asked, did you guys hear that James Wan wants to take over the Avatar series if Cameron quits? I did not hear that. And that also gives me, well, not that I'm like hold anything Avatar sacred, but James Wan is not a bad director. He's a pretty talented guy.
Fast and Furious.
But I think that James Wan is probably a lot better at starting franchises than he is coming in and taking them over.
Yeah, wasn't he the guy that did Too Fast, Too Furious?
He did like the first two, and then he, I think, stepped away. He's done a lot of things where he did the first one or two, then stepped away, and then these franchises just went on to become, juggernauts. But I do like James Wan. I think he's a very talented guy, and not that I'm going to be crying any rivers of lamentation if Avatar gets any worse. I didn't care about this last one, so I might actually go see a James Wan. No, actually, I'm not. Why? Why would I do that? I don't even care about Avatar. Good for James. You know.
No, he did Saw. Who am I? Furious 7. That's the one he did.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. I
I
knew
was
it was
like,
one
I
of the
know he
Fast.
did.
He did one of them.
One of the bigger ones. Yeah. Well, hey, talking horror, there's going to be a new horror based on a comic book. Because everything has to have its big advertised comic book connection now. The Exorcism at 1600 Pin.
Is that a comic book?
Yeah, apparently. It's like some sort of horror comic. So they're going to have like this big horror movie based on a comic. You remember when movies used to come out and they would act like there was no comic book for it?
Oh, they just pretend that it wasn't.
Like Mystery Men and The Mask and Men in Black.
The Crow.
Oh, yeah, they pretended like that wasn't.
Well, it just wasn't a part of the advertising campaign.
I'm talking ones that like they like in no way, like in the tiniest print at the end of the movie, based on the characters from the graphic novel, whatever, you know.
I'm trying to think of Spawn. They leaned into the comic book.
Well, I mean, there's no way to not do that. Yeah, because that's all that.
That is
was.
just Spawn.
Yeah. Plus, that was
Blade.
McFarlane.
I don't think I remember them leaning into the comic with Blade.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a Marvel thing, clearly, though. Anyone who knew Blade knew it was like a comic, except for like the big vampire fans or Donald Logues. People are like, dude, we're Logue heads, man. We're following.
We gotta go.
Yeah. But talking comic books, Ian McKellen did like an interview with a dude on YouTube called Jake's Takes, and he was like, "Oh yeah, well, you know, like Magneto just destroys New Jersey." Oops, because apparently in Avengers in Doomsday
is taking some of those story bits.
Yeah, I guess no, like that's something that happens in the movies. Magneto's like New Jersey, where all the filth of humanity lives, and they hate mutants. Yeah, maybe he has Asteroid M or something. That would be very cool to see.
Ooh, and he just throws it in there.
No, like shoots a big magnet laser from it or something like that. So
Magneto's the coolest.
Ian McKellen's out here
Yes.
getting in trouble with Disney, giving away story pieces from their
So
movies.
secret story.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, how do we keep people from knowing
He's
the
gonna be
story
the-
to this thing that's based on comic books that have been published all over the world?
He's gonna be the new what's his name, Spider-Man kid that can't keep his mouth shut.
Ian McKellen's going to be the new Spider-Man?
Yeah, that would be sick.
Just in friendly neighborhood. Oh, my back.
I would go watch Gandalf as Spider-Man.
Oh my
Dude,
God, wouldn't that be hilarious?
That would get me into a Marvel movie if they're like, oh yeah, dude, Ian McKellen is now
Your
Spider-Man.
friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And it's like him showing up to class and like going, hang on, MJ. And
I would watch that.
that would be pretty awesome.
Super watch that. Something that you might find interesting. Jason Statham's movie that opened this weekend.
Yeah, One Last Fisherman Job. One Last Cast.
Yeah, whatever it was called. I was gonna watch that one if I would have had time. Shelter. It's called Shelter. So it was his worst box office opening in 18 years. So
is anyone surprised?
A lot of people were just like, I've definitely seen that movie a couple dozen times already.
It's The Beekeeper, but with less fun. Like, the movie looked depressing.
You
It's
don't
like,
know till you watch it. I think it looks cool. I like that whole, like, you know what you're going to get.
I love that whole, like, here's a fisherman at a dock.
What if it is the same movie and they're just like, but what if this time Jason Statham had this career? So this time he's a construction guy.
This
but
time he's
now
a
fisherman.
He's a beekeeper. This time he's an armored truck driver. This time he's a, because what was the one where he was the armored truck driver? You remember that one?
Yeah, I went and watched that movie.
It was pretty good.
Well, he wasn't. He infiltrated the armored truck guys, but then ended up there was some twist.
One last job that he had to do.
Yeah. Just make it less and less interesting jobs, though. It's like he's a file clerk. He's a receptionist at a dentist office.
I mean, yeah. What if he was just like he worked at like a froyo by the ounce place, and
yeah. Well, yeah. The dentist office one's going to be the one I roll with right now because what if someone walked
gets in the chair?
And, no, they have like a toothache, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, the dentist is booked. They can't see." And they're like, "Oh, it's an emergency," and all this. And he's like, "I tell you what." And then he like just like high kicks him in the face, and they're like, oh, toof, and yeah, and they're like, oh, that's so much better, right? And yeah, that would be good.
Wrath of Men. Yes, that was a Wrath of Man or Wrath of Men. I do remember that one. Yeah, I mean, I saw it. Of course, I remember. I just didn't remember the name. But thank you, Vince. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about movies that are coming out this week because there's a bunch, man. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming out. There's one that I'm extremely excited about. And we'll talk about that one first because I love a good Dracula.
Dude, that haircut just sold me on.
Yeah, man. Dracula, A Love Tale, a.k.a. Just Dracula, written and directed by Luc Besson, who, you know, is Luc Besson.
How's that dude not canceled?
Right. But Luc Besson movies are either extremely awesome or just freaking awful. And I'm hoping that because this is, we all know Dracula, I'm hoping this is going to be really cool. It's Dracula's played by Caleb Landry Jones, who is a really great actor. Christoph Waltz is in this one, and you know a bunch of European actors that don't get a lot of American screen time. But I like a good Dracula story. So, I mean, of course, they are crediting Luc Besson's some of his best movies on the poster. It's like from the director of The Fifth Element, The Professional, and Lucy, which are all pretty good movies.
Lucy?
I thought Lucy was pretty good.
Unlocked my entire brain.
I mean, they're not going to be able to advertise La Femme Nikita anymore because nobody remembers that anymore.
Oh, really? I think that one would be better to put on there than...
But American audiences don't know La Femme Nikita.
Do they know Lucy? No.
Well, I mean, it had what's her face in it,
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, but then what was that? There was a stupid movie that Luc Besson did with with Staying Alive. What's his name? John Travolta.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so bad. It was so bad. And it was like John Travolta carrying around an urn full of cocaine the whole movie. And it was just absolutely bananas. And maybe honestly, it'd probably be pretty good revisiting it. But I'm excited about this Dracula movie. I like watching Luc Besson movies, even though I can't always agree with Luc Besson's life choices. So there you go. That's coming out in theaters.
Check the history of The Professional and how its story came to be.
Well, we don't
or don't do that.
Or don't do that. Actually, don't do that. Lucky Numbers. Okay, thank you, Vince. All right, another A24 movie, Pillion, is coming out. So it's about this guy who is swept off his feet by a handsome biker, and it's kind of like a sub-dom, kind of, a gay story between Alexander Skarsgård and Harry Melling, who I actually hate looking at Harry Melling on screen. He is probably one of the most jarringly unattractive people I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, that's what you get when you bully Harry Potter, my guy.
Exactly. He always plays just like a disgusting turd. And I don't know, like, I really like Alexander Skarsgård.
Whoa, hold on. He was really good in the Buster Scruggs as the wasn't he the dude with
Buster Scruggs
with no arms and no legs that Liam Neeson tosses off the bridge?
Oh, I don't think so.
Dude, I'm pretty.
We're gonna have to look this
certain that was him.
The last thing I saw him in was the Old Guard movie, and he was the bad guy that wanted to capture all the immortals.
Oh, I thought Netflix was the bad guy of that.
Well, yes, they are. But this movie's coming out. You can check it out if you want to. Also, The Moment, the old Charlie XCX movie about a rising pop star navigating the complexities of fame in an industry with the pressure while preparing for her arena tour debut. I think this is gonna make a lot of money because Charlie XCX is like big on the scene right now.
Dog, I could not pick out that person in a lineup.
I'm sure you could pick out her music. Well, ask a lady. They'll know.
Ask someone much younger than me.
Let's see. A couple of other stuff coming out. Strangers Chapter 3. Okay.
Man, how just really fell off since that little reboot thing they did, huh?
I
I haven't seen one advertisement making me want to get up and use the bathroom before a movie at all for that thing.
I could. It's happening. Strangers Chapter 3. There's another chapter. I keep caring less and less about each subsequent chapter, but it's coming out. And then there's some just like little, like an Angel Studio film with Kevin James, which is kind of funny. So say, yeah, Dina over on Twitch. She's the resident Charlie XCX fan. Solo Mio coming out, blah, whatever. And then some, low budget kind of probably direct to VOD. But I think the biggest two, obviously Dracula and The Moment, are going to be hitting theaters this weekend and making some sort of impact. I'm not sure if The Strangers still has the staying power that it's had, because it seems like the past couple have not really resonated much at the box office. But, maybe there just isn't any other horror options and people go, let's go watch some people get murdered.
Yeah, let's go watch the home invasion movie, because then we'll feel safe.
We'll feel totally safe, and maybe that's one of the reasons that no one's going and seeing The Strangers. Maybe that's horror tends to be one of these things that kind of reflects a lot of what's going on, and with everything that's going on politically right now in the streets, maybe people just don't want to see that. You're like, you know what? We get enough of this on TV when we turn it on. We don't want to go play fantasy and then watch it on TV, which I think is
That's
absolutely
true. I mean,
fair.
If there were Ultron robots attacking everybody, no one would be like, dog popping Avengers right now, man.
let's go on that drive. Oh man. Well, yeah. So that's what's coming out in theaters this weekend, and we didn't see any movies this week. I mean, I talked a little bit about Sandakan, and
I was super busy.
we were both super busy.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff playing. There was a lot of like indie movies. There was a lot of foreign films. There was a lot of Fathom events. There was a lot of, like there was something called like Iron Lung that looked kind of weird that I thought about seeing.
Yeah, the Markiplier movie. I was gonna talk about that here in a second.
The which one?
Sure. The Markiplier. That's the
mm-hmm.
Twitch, the YouTube Twitch guy.
That did Iron Lung.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his feature-length directorial debut.
Yeah, that's like his movie thing.
And it did pretty well at the box office too. So, but yeah, if we want to jump into the box office and put a cherry on this thing, because it's almost time here. So, let's just jump right into the box office. Every week, if you're listening to the show all the time, or maybe this is your first time, every week we give you the top 10 domestic box office charts, some worldwide numbers peppered in, but domestic is where they make the decisions of what made money in the United States. We give you the top 10. Jake's going to start at number 10, work the way up to number 1, and tell you what happened.
Yeah, so at number 10, dropping from number 6, 28 years later, The Bone Temple brought in just over $1.5 million in its third week out, bringing it up to $23.6 million. I don't think they let the last one settle in enough, or followed it up fast enough for that to really be a thing. So sorry about that, Sony. And then at number 9, dropping from the number 5 spot, Marty Supreme, $2.9 million, 7 weeks out, has brought it almost $91 million. I think that one is something that they are probably pretty happy with.
Oh yeah, and it's getting a lot of award buzz.
Yeah, everyone that's watched it has said that they really liked it. Man, I haven't seen one bad thing about that movie. And then at number 8, dropping from number 4, The Housemaid, $3.4 million for Sydney Sweeney, TD's. Number 7, 7 weeks out, brought in almost $121 million so far. Another 131 elsewhere.
Apparently this broke a record for her highest grossing film. So, yeah.
$250 million.
Yep.
So, well, good job. And then at number 7, which, you know what, fair point. Amanda Seyfried's a pretty good actress, actually.
Yes.
I like her, most of the movies she's in. And then at number 7, losing the top spot, Mercy.
To the surprise of no one.
Yeah, $4.5 million. I don't know how that movie was in number 1 to begin with. There was nothing in the theater for it to be worried about. 2 weeks out has brought in just over $19 million. Maybe it'll just, it's probably going to go away after its 2-week thing. And then opening at number 6, the Jason Statham movie Shelter brought in $5.5 million. Another 7.7 elsewhere, so just over $13 million in its debut weekend.
Not a high-paying job.
And then at number 5, Avatar: Fire and Ash, just over 5.5 million, and it's 7th week out, but it has $386.2 million, another billion bucks elsewhere in the world. So it's sitting at 1.4 billion-roonies. And then at number 4 is Zootopia. Let's see how much crazy money this one has. It's been out 3 weeks longer than Avatar, hitting the 10-week mark. It brought in just under $6 million. That is $409 million in the United States alone.
It actually did better than it did last week, which is weird, but it didn't increase in the top. But earnings-wise, it was up.
Yeah, something to take kids to while it was still snow outside. And then, so internationally, let's see, it has raked in as much as Avatar has just outside of the U.S., $1.37 billion added to its $410 million in the U.S. It is at $1.777 billion.
9311.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
who, how, why did this perfect storm of insanity with Zootopia 2?
dude, I think it's because people on the internet. We'll just leave it there. You can figure it out. At number 3, a movie that everyone just pooped on.
I can't believe. I honestly am shocked that this got number 3. I mean, it beat Jason Statham. This I cannot figure.
Dude,
I cannot figure it out.
Everyone was like, God, this is the worst thing ever. The Melania documentary, Melania, brought in $7 million here in the U.S., and to no surprise, $25,000.
I think, and hear me out. Everybody get your tinfoil ready. You remember that movie that came out not too long ago that it was about, it was like from one of these like Angel Studios adjacent companies. And it was like about stopping sex traffickers or predators, and it was crowdfunded. That a lot of the people that were funding the movie were actually sex traffickers and sex predators, and it got high in the box office because those people were buying tickets online.
That's what Vince is talking about right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, in the comments, Vince says it's like the Jesus movie where they paid for the seats. Like, yes, thank you, Vince. We are connected here.
The producers and all the people that funded it.
And
were the sex traffickers that the movie was like, this is
and
not
so
okay.
there is no way you could hold me at gunpoint and make me believe that the theater going population went out and spent $7 million to watch the Meliana documentary. There's no way. So I guarantee you these numbers are inflated so they can go the greatest box office, like blah, blah, whatever, man.
With the $10 billion the president is suing the IRS for, then yeah, what's it matter? He's like, we got $10 billion. Screw it. So,
yeah, we'll look like we have a number 1 movie or number 3 movie.
Yeah,
best documentary opening in a decade. Like, yeah, when you pay for all the seats, of course.
Yeah, and speaking about controversy that's only going to stay this many days old and then go away because it doesn't really matter.
So on a YouTube comment there, Mark Landry just said, we looked at local theaters and the same sold seat pattern in every showing. So it could be bots. And that's maybe something I want to test. I want to look at maybe I'll go and just walk into it and just like see, okay, how many people, butts and seats, go and look in there and find out because, that's not real.
Check the seats, screenshot it, and then, talking more other temporary controversy here, something we were talking about a second ago, the Markiplier movie, Iron Lung. And the reason is because Markiplier went on the internet and was like, look at me, I'm number 2. Wait, why am I not on the list anymore? And then he's like, and now I'm just completely gone. Well, look, you're back at number 2, homeboy. So how about that? $17.8 million.
Look at that.
Also, this one ended up not being an AMC exclusive the way that it looked like it was going to be, though it was something that you could buy those movie tickets like 2 months ahead of time. But then it opened up at other theaters where you had like a week or two's notice. So a lot more people went to see it than what they, I think, originally had planned for there. But yeah, $17.8 million.
Wow.
Just crushed everything below it. That's, 10 million, more than 10 million more than the one under it. So that was terrible English. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I read some reviews about it, and it's kind of mixed. Some people are saying it's really good, and some people are saying it's just like a really slow, kind of boring.
Dude, Landry.
Yeah. But and then the number one movie in America I wanted to go see this weekend. I didn't get a chance, but maybe I'll check it out next week.
Oh yeah, the new Sam Raimi, Send Help. Yep, brought in $19 million. And it's crazy to me to see that is being marketed as Walt Disney Pictures rather than one of their other
because it's horror
studio things. Yeah, they've been putting the Disney moniker on things. Remember, used to they were like, oh,
they want to distance themselves.
We don't want that associated with Disney. That's a Touchstone picture. You know, things like that. We're like, oh, that's for grown-ups. So that's this movie. So it's weird that they've had more than one horror movie and thriller and things like that. Movies where the F word is shouted out loud and blood is out in the open, marketed as a Walt Disney film. I'm sure, dude, man, Walt Disney and Sam Walton have to be looking at the world and being like, this isn't what we made this for.
This is not the Walt planet we hoped for.
So, $19.1 million for Send Help. So
well, there you go. Well, right on, guys. Well, that is all the things that we talk about in a week. Did you see how that worked? We made it. We survived the show, and we've recorded another one. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you guys coming in, liking, subscribing, commenting, everybody on Twitch and YouTube and stuff that commented tonight. We appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us wherever it is you like to do it. We are on Discord. We got all that stuff. You can join in. Just find our link tree, which is at thedriveinspeakerbox.com. Excuse me. You can find anything that you want there. And if you don't want any of that stuff, you just want to download this audio and listen to it on your commute or whatever, you can download the podcast wherever it is you download your podcast. Just search for the Drive-In Speaker Box Podcast. And I guess that's all the business.
The business.
Yeah, man. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
As you leave the theater, folks, please be careful. Don't let this happen to your car. Be sure to remove the speaker before you leave. If you should accidentally pull a speaker loose, please turn it in at our snack bar or box office. Thank you.